Hello again and welcome to Zendikar Rising Traditional Draft. First pick is pretty good. It's gonna be the Oran Reef Ooze. It's one of the better rares in the set, and if you just take a quick look at the commons, there's not really anything too good in here. Actually, the commons are quite weak. The best common is, I don't know, there are multiple commons that are very much close to each other. I don't have to kind of worry about them. The uncommons, well, they are not that impressive either, so I'm pretty happy to have a very good rare here that I can pick, so that I don't have to I don't have to choose between these rather mediocre cards that are the other 13 cards in the pack. Okay, so now rare has been taken, and green options are not really uh, they are not good enough to second pick them. I mean, I don't like the Nissa's Zendikar at all, and the Cassandra Stomper, while certainly you can play in most green decks, one copy of these cards, it's not really a second pick quality of card, so I will have to now choose some other color for the deck. And it can't be the Ravager's Mace really. I mean, I guess it could be, but it's not green. So if I would pick this, that would mean I'm kind of like abandoning the first pick, or I'm potentially abandoning the second pick if I end up in green either way. So maybe it is gonna be the Nahiri's Binding, because frankly, these cards are not just that good. I mean, the Skyclave Shadowcat, yeah, you can think about having some kind of black-green counters deck with these, with starting these two, but it's a card that easily can come, for example, as a pick number 10 here. It's not a particularly good card. I think the Nahiri's Binding simply was the best card in that pack, so I took that, and I don't have any objection against drafting a green-white deck. I think all the color combinations in this set are quite playable, and if you just get, if you draft the open colors, it doesn't matter what the color combination is, because if you draft the open colors, that means that you will get highest quality cards in that case. So here, I guess I'm gonna take a green card. It could be the Rolling Regrowth, and it could be the Gnarled Colony. The regrowth is good if you are splashing, or if you have a lot of landfall, or you have a reason to accelerate to like 5 to 6 mana, but I think the Gnarled Colony is just a, safer pick here. It's quite early for a third pick, but it's a very kind of it's a card that fills two roles. It's a 2-drop. I mean, it can actually fill more than 2 roles, but in general, it is a 2-drop, which you always need a certain number of in the deck, and then it can act as a 5-drop as well, and it's not really an embarrassing 5-drop. As a 4/4 Trampler, it's quite nice. And the third role it can fill is to have some kicker synergies, or I guess a +1/+1 counter synergies, but those are not so common that I don't think that really matters that much. But it being a 2-drop and a 5-drop at the same time, and of course I do want to play their ooze, so picking a green card kind of makes sense in that considering that too. So here the best card for me has to be the Veteran Adventurer. The other very good card is the black card, but I just rather take the, because I'm very sure that I'm going to play green, so I just take a very good green card. And I think this is a very good card, even though green often can have cards like these that I have that do not have any party creature types. But it doesn't matter, because if you can cast this 4/5 mana, which you often will be able to do, it's gonna be a good card regardless. Here I think it's still gonna be a green card. I haven't seen much white, so the Nahiri's Binding might just be ignored here, but the non-green cards here are not good enough to kind of make me go that route. So I could take the Canopy Bailout, which is a pretty nice 4-drop. I mean, when it attacks as a 6/5, that's a huge beast. But I think I like the Gnarled Colony slightly more here, because, well, it's just so nice to have a 2-drop that has also utility late in the game. The Pickaxe is a card I'm not fond of at all. Basically, if you can't hit with the landfall, this does nothing. The equip cost is 3, so if the equipped creature, the initial equipped creature gets killed, it's very expensive to move this around, and I just don't like these landfall things that do nothing by themselves. Canopy Bailout is always a 4-3, but this is nothing if you don't hit a land. The cards in this pack are actually weak enough that I'm just gonna be a greedy, and I'm actually gonna take the 20 gems. It's not really the the most ideal way to draft if you want to draft a winning deck, but I draft here also to kind of try to maximize the value in terms of in-game economy, and I will take 20 gems when I'm very sure that the other cards in the pack are not going to be that useful for me. Here we could pick I could pick the 40 gems, but I think now it makes more sense to pick an actual card for the deck. But it's just a question of, do I take this red land? I'm not going to take the red creature. I'm going to take either the ascetic or the red land, and I think the higher payoff is going to be the red land because I do have maybe 2/5 drops in this knowledge colony already. And I don't think I'm gonna miss the 5/4 cleric because this is only pack 1, and I'm sure I'm gonna get some 5 drops for my deck anyway. So I'm not in a hurry to pick that kind of a card here. Even if I end up not playing this, I don't mind at all. Here we still continue getting we. I mean, I'm using the pronoun we for some reason here. I'm drafting here alone, but maybe you can kind of join we in the draft when you are watching this video. But here I have here. I mean, I don't like the Murasa. I guess I'll take the Cold Blade Master. There's still a chance that I'm gonna end up being green-white, and maybe the Blade Master is something I can work with if I get some good equipment, not the one I passed, the green one, but some good equipment and a couple of warriors, then maybe this could work. Here it's gonna be a Canopy Bailout, I think. The Casual's Fury is nice, and Red seems to be maybe somewhat open, but the Bailout is just a, it's gonna be a card I'm most likely going to play anyway, so why not just pick it? Here I'm gonna take the Macindiox. These packs are actually quite weak, so I'm not sure how. The pack 1 is a slight disappointment after all. Yeah, I don't really see a reason to pick like any of these. Maybe I'll just take the equipment if something very weird happens and I'm able to like splash it or something. Who knows? Okay, but I'm gonna take either of the red cards. Maybe it's gonna be the 2-drop because I'm not really sure how much party I'm gonna have here, so I'm actually gonna. I took the green card. I'm gonna put the red cards in the sideboard for now and see if because now it kind of seems like I'm gonna play green-white, but that's not really. It's not something I absolutely have to do here. Okay, we have a juicy pack in here. First things first, I would like to have the Root Grazer if I'm gonna end up green-white. The land is very nice. This is completely free mana fixing. You always want to pick this pretty high, but I don't think I would pick higher than the Murasa Root Grazer in a green-white deck. Of course, we have a Deadly Alliance and the Roller Eruption. Well, I don't have anything black here, so apart from the Mace, so it would be the Roller Eruption if I take something that's not green or white. So it's between the Roller Eruption and Root Grazer. The Roller Eruption is splashable, but I think this card is strong enough. It is actually a very strong card, so if I end up green-white, and I hope now that I will end up, I want to pick this thing. And hopefully, well, at least now I didn't get past anything great. Red here, so passing the Roller Eruption doesn't hurt me that much there. Here, although the options are not amazing, but I think I'm gonna take the Relic Axe because while I have only one warrior for now, and of course this adventurer is a warrior too, I will have plenty of options to pick warriors. White is secondary in warriors. Green has 2 common warriors that are both playable. The 2-drop that adds a +1/+1 counter to something, and then the 3-mana 3/3 warrior. So Relic Axe is the most reasonable pick in here. Also, it has synergy with the Cold Blade Master if I end up with a bunch of warriors after all. Okay, well, we have here I don't know why I'm using the pronoun we, but let's pretend this is some kind of stream and you actually are following this live with me. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why I'm using that pronoun. All right, anyway, Myriad Construct, I mean, it's kind of just a 4/4, but it's a pretty efficient one. I mean, 4-mana 4/4 that doesn't have any color requirements is good, and then it has additional value given well, not the kicker necessarily because that doesn't come up often that you want to kick this, but It makes tokens when it gets targeted, and you can even target it yourself with some kind of spell. I think it's the peak above the Magnity Stampede, which was the other option. This Cliffhaven Sellsword. It's a fine 2-drop warrior, but you can get those 3 ones later on. Okay, wow, look at this. I passed already one roller option. Now I'm getting past the Thundering Rebuke and a roller option. I guess I don't have to make the decision about which card I want to pick, because I'm gonna pass them both to my right, because I don't think I have very little. Yeah, I don't have anything that will be good for a splash. I mean, enabling the splash. I don't have any kind of fixing here, so I'm just gonna take like maybe the Banneret after all. Yeah, I think I like the Banneret here if I try to get this kind of warrior stuff going on. And this would enable the red splash. I mean, this came in the wrong order. Although I guess I wouldn't pick this very high if I didn't have a reason to splash for red. So there is that. However, here it's gonna be the. I guess because I have the Root Grazer, the sorry, a Prowling Felidar makes sense here now. This helps with the this thing helps with landfall, guys. So I'll take the Felidar. I don't have. Well, actually, I did have 2 4-drops already, but regardless, I mean, you can play 3 4-drops in a deck. It's no big deal. I actually need some 3-drops in here. I have only one creature 3-drop. Anyway, here it's gonna be the Iris Binding, of course. I'm pretty much locked into green-white at this point, so I'll just want to pick green and white cards. What is this? Pick 7 roller option, which I'm going to pass. I mean, people just don't really respect this card. This is the best common in the set. Oh my. Well, I'm not gonna pick it. I'm gonna take the Rabbit Bite here. Just don't need another 4-drop, even though I do like the Jorak Visionary quite a bit. Practice Tactics, not a good one in this deck, but Rabbit Bite is definitely worth picking here. And here well, surprisingly, we don't have another roller option here that I can pass forward. I'll just take the Rabbit Bite, and I'm happy about that pick. And okay, this is very nice. I got the land back. I mean, didn't expect that, but I'm super happy about that thing. Resolute Strike is a better card than the Dauntless Unity, so let's pick that. And I prefer another Banneret rather than the second Resolute Strike. The Adept, well, I actually miss 3-drops. I can play it, but it's, of course, I would much rather have the green 3-drop, the Warrior. But if I have to, I will play this. I'd take the 2-drop over the base camp. This base camp is just a very bad card. Okay, roller option. Do I want to count how many roller options would I have? How many Thundering Rebukes and roller options? I would have had a lot of them. Well, I mean, can't do much about it now. I'm not gonna splash this roller option. I don't still have anything to splash with, so I'm just gonna ignore them. Sadly, the pack is very weak for me. I mean, I'm gonna take the pack beast. It's not even that great, but it's, I think, better than, I mean, Practice Tactics, or I mean, there is yet another Rabbit Bite. I mean, yeah, I guess I could consider that. I do have double Nahiri's Binding and double Rabbit Bite already, but I suppose. Okay, fine. Let's take the Rabbit Bite. Come on, what you? This draft is kind of annoying me now. If I just had gone for the red, and I could have basically, when I saw the the red removal in pack 2, early pack 2, I could have actually just gone for red, and I would have gotten like what 4 roller options in the deck. Oh man, this is so crazy. Well, I mean, what can you do? I'm not gonna splash him, like I said a couple of times already. At least I have both of these warrior options in here. I think I need the 3-drop more here, so I'll take the Murasa Brute now, which is a lot worse card than roller option. But what can you do? Okay, now at least I get something for the warrior theme here. Practice Tactician is quite nice. I have like 4 other warriors, and of course the Adventurer is a warrior. And there's really, I mean, I would pick the the Blight Blade because I have triple Rabbit Bite, but the paired Tactician is gonna be the better card overall. So how about this pack? Okay, we get nothing. Pretty disappointing. I think I have one Adventurer awaits here. Yeah, if I need to. Well, okay, I'm not gonna run out of playables, but I'm gonna run out of. I mean, I would need to play maybe more good cards in the deck. I just don't know. Maybe it's gonna be the Kaijera, but it's gonna start at the sideboard. It's not that great. And here we don't have anything that amazing. So do I want to play the Floridron? The practice tactics isn't gonna be very good because it's mostly like dealing 2 because I have warriors and not much other options. I just don't think that I need the Floridron actually. I'd rather take the another 4-drop. It's gonna be my 4th 4-drop, but I can play 4 drops here. I like the Visionary quite a bit. Okay, Tactician, very nice pick here. Easy choice, so at least I get something good for my deck, but oh boy, all those roller options time. I mean, those, I mean, of course, I opened one of them, so it was not a surprise to see that in a pack you open, but the late pick, was it pick 7 roller option? Those shouldn't really happen. That really shouldn't happen. The Wine Gecko doesn't do much. I have some kicker cards, but I mean, I don't need a third banner. I'm gonna just take another brute here. Let's pick just more warriors. And now I just want to have a. I kind of hope that the one warrior comes back to me. The two mana 1/1 that adds a counter to anything. Basically, it's a 2 mana 2/2, and you have the option to leave it as a 1/1. And oh, I don't care what I was saying. I was talking about a 2-drop, but this is pack 3, pick 8 ruler option. What's wrong with people here? What is wrong with them? Oh, this could be like my 5th ruler option. This deck could have been so funny if I just ended up picking a red, their first red removal. Oh, come on, you are kidding me. What is this? Alright, this is a joke. This is a joke, right? No one is playing red here. No one is playing red. I'll pick it now just because. Alright, alright. I mean, I guess I can splash red if I want to. I have 2 roller options here. Pack 3, pick 9 and pick 10. Alright, so. Okay, this is pretty funny. This shouldn't happen ever. I mean, it doesn't seem like the red was super open even. People just didn't really think that ruler options are the best commons in the set. Wow. Well. I mean, I didn't get. I mean, I wanted to get 2 mana, green 2 mana 2/2. You know, kind of wheeling the table to get it back. But instead, I'm getting like roller options, wheeling the table. That is so insane. Well, I mean, I guess this deck is fine, but it could have been. I don't know. I don't even care if I don't have any. I mean, I could have just played random green things and then a ton of roller options. That would have been the red contribution to the deck. Yeah, this would have been so crazy. Come on. Roller option is the best common in the set. It really is. And I got these pack 3, pick 9 and pick 10 just because. I picked them because I wanted to. There was nothing for my colors. Alright. So yeah, but before I start building the deck, I again remind that if you are not familiar with my channel, I do upload daily drafts, and if you want to follow this kind of drafts, I mean maybe even not daily, just occasionally check out what drafts have I uploaded. Please consider subscribing. That would be appreciated because that kind of shows that if I get more subscribers, that kind of means that the content I'm making is something that interests people. So I would appreciate it a lot. But of course, if you don't care about it, then don't subscribe. But if you want to occasionally check my content, why not subscribe? It's free anyway. Alright, so the roller options. I don't have any way to fix here. That's the problem. I do have this thing that helps my mana a bit, but I don't have even I don't have a single MDFC. That's actually bad. Yeah, splashing for the roller options is so risky now. I do have triple rapid bite and double Nahiri's binding. That is a bunch of removal. So I think I'm not gonna main deck these, but I guess I can consider sideboarding in some scenarios. There might be a reason to sideboard in the red, and I mean I would have to just put 3 mountains and 2 roller options, and that would be the splash. It would make the mana a lot more inconsistent in this deck, but and that's the reason I don't want to put those things in my main deck. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, the cards in the sideboard are currently one Resolute Strike and one Adventure Awaits and a Cliffhaven Kite Sail that fit my colors, so I'm not going to play any of those in my main deck. I still have cuts to make. I think the mana will be eventually exactly the way it is now. The Branch Loft Pathway and 8 of both uh, basic lands. I'm pretty sad that I didn't in fact get any MDFCs, but well, I think I can live with 17 lands total here. I have a pretty cheap mana curve here, I think. 2.7 average mana cost, so it's gonna be fine. But I do have to cut 4 cards. Let's see, 20 creatures, 7 non creatures. So I can afford to cut some creatures at least. Well, Mesalinx is going away. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops and plus 3 1-drops. I think the Seagate Banneret might just be one card to cut. And I think the Resolute Strike is something I don't need either. So this is why I still need to cut one here. It might just be the Rapid Bite, but eventually I did get the 3-drops here. I have for actually 5 3-drop creatures. Yeah, that's more than enough. I mean, even after I cut the Farsight Adept, so I'm gonna cut the Adept for sure. So now it's mostly a question, do I want to run the Mackindy Oaks? I will run the Adventurer, even though my creature types are, well, there's still one Wizard. What's the Wizard here? Oh, it's the Joraga Visionary, but I like the card draw there, so I'm gonna play that. So there's one Rogue, right, the Death Toucher, one Wizard, and no Cleric, and there are 6 Warriors. So that is gonna mean that the Adventurer is most likely gonna be a 5 mana play, but I think I like the Ox here anyway. I could cut the Ox and add like another Banneret here. I don't necessarily need 2 Bannerets here, so okay. The Rapid Bite is gonna be somewhat okay. I have a lot of 3 power creatures, and when this gets rid of a 3 toughness creature, I think that's enough. So I don't have to kinda assume that it's a bad card in this deck. I can't really use it on the construct unless I want the tokens, because if I can't target this with a spell, it's gonna break into the constructs. Yeah, I think this is pretty easy. Not ideal mana curve, not ideal. I mean, I guess the deck is fine, but I'm just maybe a bit annoyed about all the roller options that I could have had and the one Thundering Rebuke. I think I might have been able to have 5 roller options and 1 Thundering Rebuke, if I counted correctly. At least 4 roller options and 1 Thundering Rebuke. That would have been insane. But now this is the deck, at least the main deck, and I will go to the matches now. Okay, so I just cancelled there because usually when it takes a minute to find a match, then it's just gonna end up with a immediate draw. I don't know what's with the system there. But anyway, you should use the chapter options, and right after I finish building the deck, you just should go to the chapter that says round 1, so you don't have to wait for this, waiting for the opponent. That's the reason I don't talk anything when I'm waiting for an opponent, because I assume that people actually just go to the next chapter there. Okay, this is good hand. I can have a turn 3 Joraga Visionary unless the Root Creator gets killed, but I'm on the play, so they would have to have a 2 mana removal for it. I guess they can still have a Feed the Swarm or Road Eruption or Thundering Rebuke, but we'll see what the colors there. Okay, Feed the Swarm is an option. Well, at least that's a good thing. If they remove this Root Creator, I still can play the Brute on turn 3, so I have a nice curve here. And it's a Feed the Swarm. Well, I'm glad I drew the brute here. Because now they only killed a 2-3 here. Okay, this would have been a very good one though, with Prowling Feliter kind of endless landfall triggers. They played 3 colors, they had all them. They didn't want to discard anything for that thing, that's fine. Normally I would... Okay, there's a consideration here. Normally I would play the Visionary here and then play the Felidar on the turn when I can trigger the landfall. But this Visionary will just trade with the Fissure Wizard. That's the reason to prefer the Felidar right now. So this can attack next turn as a 3-4. And this just couldn't attack unless I want to trade with the Wizard. And I'm not sure I want to do that. Okay, they had the removal for it anyway. Okay, the ooze is good. What does this mean? It does mean I'm gonna still play the 4 mana card rather than the 3 mana card here. I can't double spell. I mean, yeah, I don't have the forest and I wouldn't use the rabbit bite for this thing anyway. Plus now I actually can double spell thanks to playing that card draw thing. Kinda hope they don't have the Mind Drain here, but well, if they do, there was no reason to keep this in my hand. Definitely no. Okay, so I do need something good here. They have a 5-6. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. I mean, I can sacrifice the Visionary. Oh, well, yeah, I can sacrifice the Visionary in here. If they block with the Wizard, I can just pump with the Banneret, so... Actually, because this thing did draw me a card, so I'm gonna attack with the Visionary. I mean, I guess I can attack with them both, but no, then they're just gonna block the Visionary with the Wizard and then this Brute with the Cleric, so that I couldn't get there, because I can't use mana both for this activation and the Rapid Bite, so I'm gonna just trade the Visionary for the Cleric now. I can still play the Ooze. And if they take 3 damage, I don't mind. If they do that, I don't mind. I mean, yeah, maybe I use a bit of mana here, but so what? I get to kill that for free, so... It's not such a bad thing at all. Cool Warrior. Well, at least I can kill that. Let me see. Guess I'm gonna just play the Ooze in here and give the Brute counter so I can actually... I don't have the 5 mana right now, but I can have the 5 mana available. I didn't want to attack with the Visionary now because they would have blocked with the Warrior, and then I don't want to use the Rapid Bite on that. I can deal with the 4-5. Dealing with the 5-6 is gonna be a bit tougher. Okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a stall, but I do have the Banneret, so maybe at some point I might be hitting 10 mana, although I don't want to draw like 3 land straight. What's this? Opponent goes for a very weird race here. I mean, that's not good for them. First of all, I can actually get rid of the Cleric just by double blocking, and I don't even lose 2 guys. Second of all, I can make the Brute get another counter here. I can take here 9 damage. That's a better idea than making any stupid double block here. That attack is a very weird one because they have 13. Yeah, I'm gonna drop to 9 myself, but unless they draw something very specific, I can leave some blocker in here. I don't think I have quite the win here, but I'm pretty close to it. Yeah, I wanna get the additional counter for the Brute, so I'm gonna take this damage now. And so that's gonna be 8 mana. I can use this and this. I think I have to kill that champion. Although this is the only warrior they have, I could kill the Akun warrior here too. Then this is a 2-3. But the 2-3 can kill the Ooze, which I don't want to happen. So I'm just going to do it like this. And now I can attack with not everyone, because this is a lethal counter attack, but quite a few people. I guess the banneret is quite valuable here. I'm not gonna want to attack with this ooze because it's gonna give me a additional counter, and then I can still kill the nectar pot by activate if they block with the nectar pot. Yeah, by attacking with everyone I can't force any weird stuff. So I'm gonna have to leave me a blocker, and I think I'm gonna leave them. Yeah, okay, I guess it's gonna be the banneret after all. Yeah. I can jump block the cleric. I mean, they can draw a removal for the banneret and that's game, but I may have to take a bit of a risk in here anyway. Okay, that's lethal, so I don't get what's happening now. That's exactly 13. I mean, they had to block there with their 1-3. It wasn't even a... I mean, so what if they lose the 1-3? Well, I guess they decided to not block and lose then. So let's see, they are like... Seems like they are splashing black here, yeah, for the removal. And they are red-green otherwise. Cleric, Kum Warrior. Well, I mean, random guys, a couple of removal. I don't think I'm that much wiser here, but is there a reason to play like a... The Resolute Strike doesn't help against these kind of removal spells. No, they don't deal damage and they don't care about the creature's stats. So maybe I'm not gonna sideboard those things in. Is there something bad in here? Don't know. Yeah, I could... I don't know. I don't think I want to sideboard anything. I mean, these are just not very ideal against that deck. I don't think... I guess the Resolute Strike can make it somewhat easier to get through with these big guys, but I do have the double Nihilist Binding. The Rapid Bite doesn't help that much, but I do have the Relic Axe. I just don't feel like cutting anything in here. No, I have the Bailout. I can use that to make it a 6-5. I can tap them. I guess there are enough ways to get rid of them. Although they do have some removal there to get rid of my big guys, but let's see. Alright, again a nice hand. I have maybe the option to play the Felidar on turn. Well, now I do have the option to play the Felidar on turn 3, which would be pretty nice with the Root Grazer, but if they have the Feed the Swarm again, of course, then I can't take advantage of that. But I'm not gonna play the Blade Master. I of course want to try to get the Felidar online on turn 3, but apparently they do have the Feed again, so no such luck. They didn't have a land drop there. Well, I mean, I still have a play for turn 3. I have a play for turn 4, and if they don't have a removal for the Felidar, then I have a lot of land drops still to make it at least a 4-5. Okay, that's something I don't care about. Let's just play this. No reason to attack. It would just die when they block with the Nectar Pot. So let's see. They don't have another removal. They don't have a rogue for this thing. No. So, I mean, this is very bad, of course. They do have 4 power there. I mean, I might just actually kill the Florahedron because they are missing land drop, so that might be the optimal move I can have here. Yes, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I could kill the Skulker because it might have a death touch at some point. That is true though, too. Yeah, I mean, is the game gonna be over that quickly after all? I didn't see that many rogues there, but they still can have them. Okay, fine. Let's do it like this. I don't wanna get... I mean, I want that my Felidar gets a couple of attacks here through. I mean, that does mean that if they draw some land, they will be able to play some kind of 4-drop here. But yeah, okay, and they did have the rogue, so now I'm happy. Well, that was a good one too. That's very nice, but I'm not going to... I think I have to... Yeah, I think I do have to. I mean, it would be nice to get the Blade Master with the counter, but this has to attack in order to multiply the counter. So I have to make this a 3-3, and then it's gonna be a 4-4. So I mean, they can still double block with the Nectarbot, but I at least get one additional counter for the Felidar here. So they kinda need to have the Deadly Alliance for the Felidar. Well, they do. I mean, they had the same removals, and I've drawn like a ton of removal here. Doesn't even make any sense to attack with the Ooze right now. Do I want to wait for a Rabbit Bite? I think I'm gonna wait, because I don't want to just trade with the Skitter Sneak. They double block and that's it. So that was pretty unfortunate. They had all that. Okay, now I need the Nihilist Binding here. I have two of them. Well, they have somewhat risky attack, but I guess they can make it happen. Well, the Makindiox will actually be a very nice help here. Because now this is gonna be a 4-4 and it's gonna be a 5-5 when it attacks the next time. And I do have the land to tap the Adventurer. They can attack with the 5-5. I'm gonna drop to 11 here. I can take it. Yeah, the Ox draw actually was a reason to not play those lands there. I kind of forgot I have the auction here. Dreadworm. Okay, so they have a... Well, I mean, these are pretty good draws, I have to admit. But I mean, I guess it was time after drawing so many lands. On the other hand, the lands are good with the Ox, so... Yeah, either way, I'm going to do what exactly? I'm gonna kill the Adventurer. No, I can't actually kill it because... Yeah, I can only kill the Dreadworm. Okay, fine. Then I do that. So I'm gonna tap the Adventurer. I'm gonna kill the Dreadworm. And then I'm going to attack with... I mean, these are 9 damage total, so... I can attack with the Blade Master. Because if they block the Blade Master here, then they have to at least jump block one of these guys. But I guess they're gonna double block the Makindiox, in which case I can still deal 7 damage to them. And let's see how... They don't have a lethal attack there coming up. No, they don't, so I can attack with all. I suppose they're gonna double block the Ox, and then they will lose the Skitter Sneak, and then they will be at 2 damage, 2 life there, and then I still need to kill the Adventurer, but at least the Ooze will be a 6-6 the next time it's gonna attack. And they will be, if they have a land drop, they will of course gain life with the Nectarbot. Sad thing is that they can attack with their Vigilance guy here. That's the reason I wanted to get rid of the 5-5 instead, but I couldn't do that pre-combat. Okay, so they just have the big guys here. They don't have non-basic, so this is not gonna be any large. I mean, it actually would be very relevant if they had one MDFC. Like if they played this Florahedron as a land, this actually would be a 5-5, and that would be very relevant. Now the problem is that they're just gonna double block, or even triple block this guy. I can't actually do that, so I'm playing this and no reason to kick. It doesn't sadly do anything. Well, I guess I have to draw one of my Rabbit Bites or one of my Nihilist Bindings here. Yeah, they had way too many big guys here. Well, I can just kill the Blade Master. It doesn't do much here. Well, I mean, I guess they could have attacked with the Veteran Adventurer. I would have actually had to block it, but maybe they just don't want to block it with the... They don't want to make this trade. Anyway, now I got a good blocker for the Adventurer, so let's... This is now board stall, but they do have more spells than I, so that's problematic if the spells are better. Okay. Well... Don't have any reasonable attack here. I could attack with the Ooze, but then they just... Basically it trades with the Cleric. So... I had a good start, but they had the removal and then they had the multiple of... Okay. They did that trade. I guess they have some kind of return stuff from the graveyard business. I attack with this, it's gonna be a 6/6, and then they are gonna block with. I mean, they can even jump it, and then I can. Yeah, they can jump with the nectar pot, that they can attack with everyone, and I lose. That's not a good thing at all. I have 2 lands in my hand, so I really need to draw a lot more non-lands. Yeah, my first half of the deck had 11 lands. That's not really good. I have 6 lands left here. Yeah. I mean, that really is true. I have 70 lands in the deck. I have 11 lands here, so that means I drew 11 lands and 9 non-lands, and then I actually have to do this. Anyway, I don't win here because I don't have anything. Can't deal with. Okay, what are they really splashing like a tuk-tuk? Whatever. I think they have so many big guys that I have. I mean, actually they don't have any answer to flyers, so maybe I'll just play the kite sail. Yeah, I'll play the kite sail. And especially because I am on the play now. What's the most useless card? I guess it's gonna be the Blade Master. Yep. I like the banner that it can boost itself. It's gonna be the Blade Master. I mean, I'm sideboarding in a equipment and I'm sideboarding out the Blade Master. I do have the Brutes and the Tacticians. Maybe that is enough synergy that I should at least consider it. But what else can I cut here? I don't want to cut the Blight Blade because of the triple Rabbit Bite and it can block all the big guys. The Visionary, I mean, it draws a card. I don't want to lose my warriors. I don't want to lose the colonies. The Banneret. Is that 17 creatures? That's quite a few creatures. This might be just useful. It's a tough cut to make. I mean, it could just be the Visionary after all. Fine, let's cut the Visionary. The 3/2 doesn't really do much against their cards. This is so sad. If I had one of these was a plains, I have basically 9 and 9 sources because I have the dual land, so it's quite unfortunate. But I mean, I have the 2-drop in here, and I have these 3 warriors and the relic axe. So if I draw any land, I can at least play the brute and then do this thing. And yeah, at some point I will draw the white source, and this will be good. So I'm gonna keep this hand. It's risky. Opponent is playing 3 colors, at least they mulligan, so maybe there's some well, small bit of justice there, because I'm just a straight 2-color deck with 9+9 colored sources, so they are the deck that should have more issues with hitting their decent mana. Okay, so moment of truth. Do I draw a land next or not? I think I'm gonna axe this thing up and wait with the Rapid Bite. I don't care about their 2 too much at all. But yeah, didn't draw a land, but I guess the Rapid Bite isn't a bad draw when you are stuck at 2, and they had the Vanquish there, of course, and of course all the colors, so now it's land time, yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm in the game now. I have multiple turns where I don't have to skip making plays. Skitter Sneak will be dealt with immediately if I... Now it has Death Touch, so I'm not gonna block with... If I draw a land, I'm gonna deal with this right away. I didn't draw a land, so that means the race is perhaps on, because I can't... I mean, they will drill 5/2, but... Well, I mean, the Brute is the more mana efficient play after all. Okay, fine. Okay, let's do it. I mean, I can double block there, but no, I can't. If they have a Deadly Alliance, I can't just do the double block there. Well, I take the 5 now. I mean, I have to draw a land. I'm gonna equip and rapid bite the skitter sneak. I will drop to 11 now, but this doesn't seem good. Well, I mean, I'm gonna drop to 6. Problem here is that if I block the Skulker, I'm going to lose my Brute. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with this guy. I'm gonna go to 6 here. No, I'm gonna go to 2. Well, that's a bit too late. I can kill the Zakras, but I can't deal with both of these. I can block only the Skitter Sneak and still take 2. There's no way I can... Yeah, I mean, this was just a nail in the coffin. So what was the deck after all? Is this like an even 3-color deck? Okay, well, I'm a bit tilted here. Sometimes this happens, but it doesn't seem like a justice was served in there. I had the deck with a reasonable mana base, and I was missing the color there. I know I kept the two lander there, so that's always a risk, but better luck next match then. Well, I mean, I have the Groot Glacier, and even if I don't draw a land, I still can generate the 3rd mana with the Root Glacier, because I can tap a land for mana, return it to my hand, and then replay it if I don't have a land drop otherwise. So I have a 2-drop and a 3-drop in here. Hopefully, I mean, I have played this Root Glacier on turn 2 twice here in the previous match, and in both cases I would have had a 4-drop for turn 3, but still the opponent was able to find the feed the Swamp in both cases. Let's hope it's gonna survive at least once here. So now I have the Visionary coming up for turn 3, that would be nice. No, actually it's not unless I draw another land, yeah. Well, still the Bear Tactician is gonna work. No reason to do anything than just attack here. Okay, so do they have like a into the royal? I mean, if they have a counter spell, they should immediately just use it. There's no reason to not counter this. And if they have into the royal, maybe they should bounce the tactician end of turn. But they are not thinking about the plays. I mean, what else could they have? Like a Zulaport Enforcer? Oh, no, it's not Enforcer. It's a Zulaport Duelist, right? Well, I have no idea what they're having. Maybe they're just, lost connection. So yeah, maybe you should skip forward in the video a couple of taps to return to the action. They don't have any timeout, so if when this thing runs out, that's it. So they did run out of time, so did they lose connection? In a best of 3 matches, it works so that if you time out, you don't lose just the game, you lose the entire match. So basically, if they time out, now I don't remember how many turn skips it takes, but if they really lose this game because of timing out a couple of times, that means they will lose the match, and that's the match there, and then that would be round 3 next. But we'll see. If they did disconnect, they still have a little bit of time to reconnect back. So they just skipped now, and the next, I think when they now lose this timeout, that will be the match over for them. I mean, if they spend the entire timeout here. I mean, it's not a timeout, but normal turn timer. Anyway, they missed their land drop and play and all them. They discarded even a card, so they are not in a good shape even if they return. But at least if they return, they still have games 2 and 3 to win in this match. But it does seem like the opponent really just completely vanished here, so not very exciting. That's the match. So that was a non-match completely. I had a good starting hand, so it would have been actually interesting to see how that game goes, but there was nothing I could do to affect the situation. Well, at least I have now a chance to try to win the match number 3 and get some prize from this event, other than just with one pack. Okay, the Root Grazer has found to my starting hand. I have only one of these in the deck. I'm gonna still keep it, of course, because I have two drops. I have the Rabbit Bite that I can use if my 2 drops survive. And if I drop any land, I can play the Visionary if this Root Grazer survives, at least on turn 3. I mean, not on... Okay, now that I drew a land... Oh, no, I still need another land to get at turn 3, but now that I have 3 lands, I can still play on turn 3 and then 4 the Visionary. Well, I mean, all that was quite meaningless talk now, because I did draw the 2 lands back to back. Very nice, of course. So let's see if the Root Grazer gets to survive. I mean, it got to survive in the last match, but the opponent just timed out. Okay, so is it gonna be a Rabbit Bite? Land Rabbit Bite. That would be... It has to be a Rabbit Bite to get deal with the Root Grazer. Okay, so nothing. I am tempted to use the Rabbit Bite here. But the thing is that I would rather just... Because I don't want to play this Gnarled Colony unkicked. That would be my entire turn there. So I think I'm just gonna attack and play the Visionary, and I will take another 4 here. Because they are, of course, quite likely to have a land drop there. But then I will have better options available on the next turn. So we'll basically land these planes and then the Visionary. So I can't still block this if it's a 4/4. And I could have access to 6 mana next turn, but that doesn't matter. Having access to 7 mana would have mattered, but now I can only... But I guess I can use the double Rabbit Bite there if I want to. Let's see what they're gonna have. I will take 4 damage here though. Okay, so this says only 1 spell, but I will kill with this one with the first Rabbit Bite. Hopefully they don't have... I mean, they could have... Well, now that I drew that, what's gonna be my... I guess it's just safer to double Rabbit Bite this turn. And the Knowledge Colony is kind of a sad card to Rabbit Bite because it's just 2-2. But let's see, this is gonna say that no player can cast more than one spell. Lands enter, non-basics enter tap. That doesn't concern me. I guess I do have the one pathway though. It does concern that. So let's see. If I attack with these and I can play the Knowledge Colony perhaps, then I will potentially take 6 more damage in here. I guess that is just too risky. I hope they don't have them, you know, the MDFC green land. They could save this area with it, but now that they don't, things are kinda okay, and I think I'm gonna Rapid Bite here. I don't like it at all. I mean, I guess I can take 4 damage here still, because the thing is that next turn I can play actually... I could play 2 spells, 5 cost and 2 cost spell still. Because if I end of turn put this into play, then I can, you know, do the trick to even at 6 mana I can generate 6 lands. I can generate 7 mana with the Root Grazer, but I need to have the 6th land in play when I start my turn. I would drop to 8 here. I mean, it's a possibility. It's not necessarily gonna happen. It is a possibility. I don't really know. I guess I have... Okay, now I know what I do. I do this because I do have the Makindi Ox. So that means if they have a big blocker, I can tap it down with the Ox. So that's the reasoning for my action there after all. And as long as the Root Grazer survives, I can actually use this every turn. Well, it didn't survive. Yeah, I don't want to return a land here because I need the 5 lands anyway to cast my 5 drops. So now I at least have the Ox with a couple of tap effects. So this looks quite nice, and they can't play any small guy to block these things. I mean, they can play a small guy. Okay, well that's they have nothing. They have 4 mana, both colors, and 4 cards. Well, I guess I'll see what happens now. Maybe they have something like no, Smite the Monstros, kill a 4 power guy or higher power. Well, I mean, I guess fine. The green-white deck isn't gonna mass remove, not with this amount of mana. Undo Inversion costs 8 mana, so this is gonna be a kill. What are they holding in their hand though? Are they playing 3 colors? I have no idea what they can be holding. Okay, and they tap out, so whatever, let's play the land and tap this thing. And they were dead anyway. I mean, just attacking with the Knowledge Colony would have been enough, because it tramples. Alright, so another green-white deck. Perhaps, I mean, they had some mystery cards in their hand there. Maybe it was like a ton of boost spells. I guess it's possible. Alright, Archon of Emeria, Knowledge Colony, Swamp Shambler, and the Skyclave Pickaxe. They were the only cards I saw. But of course, the Nahiri's Binding too. Well, I don't have a... If I had Broken Wings, that would be useful against the Flyer and the Nahiri's Binding, and I guess also the equipment, but I'm not that scared about that equipment after all. Do I need like a Resolute Strike in here? Help with the combat against another green deck. I'm kinda tempted, but what's the cut? I mean, I guess it's this time it's gonna be the Blade Master. Yep. Now that I don't have 2 equipment in the deck, I can easily cut the Blade Master. Well, I guess you can skip a couple of a bit forward because the opponent doesn't seem to do anything here. Okay, let's keep with the turn 2 Root Grazer plan. This is a 5-lander of course, but I'm on the draw. I have a few shots to draw some action here before I run out of playables. So I'm going to definitely play the Colony Kicked. I can do it turn 4. Rapid Bite is a nice draw. So turn 2 Root Grazer, turn 3 could be not just nothing. Okay, they have a base camp. Maybe they are running 3 colors, because this usually is not something you play in a 2-color deck. Oh, I get now a 3-2, so I have a turn 3 Brute, turn 4 Gnarled Colony. Things are looking quite nice. Well, I have time to kill that later if I want to. Can't attack, they have the Cleric to block with. So I can end of turn activate this, there's no reason to activate it right now. The sampler takes mana to activate, so that means they can play a 2 mana spell, or if they play a 3 mana spell, they actually can't activate the sampler. So it's not that threatening on turn 1. Something like a Luminarch Aspirant is quite a bit better actually. Free counters on anything versus counters on Justice, and only if you use mana for it. Alright, so I can double spell now. No reason to attack with the Root Grazer. And I can attack with the... Yeah, I can just trade with the Tazim Raptor. They can... Because they are able to double block with the Raptor and the Cleric, but I mean, I don't mind. I'll just play my 4/4 next anyway. And actually the Blightblade 2. And the Blightblade will be good with the... Rabbit Bite. So now I can put Forest into play and play the Death Toucher here. It can't really attack because they will happily trade with the Cleric here, but I can attack with my 3/3 and 4/4. Okay, the Pickaxe, this is now a good example. I'm actually winning the race, so I don't care about them dealing a little bit of damage with this kind of an offensive equipment. This has no defensive value whatsoever unless you have a Rolling Regrowth in your deck to get lands at instant speed. Okay, I wonder why they did. Oh, they even missed the land drop. So yeah, this is actually a pretty bad draft. Because wait a minute, I'm actually considering using the Rabbit Bite on this Skyclave Cleric, but that can't be right. I mean, that would enable me to attack for 10 in here. But that's just... Do I still want to actually... Okay, I think I'm still going to do it like this. I don't mind the trade with the Blightblade because the Rapid Bite is gonna deal 4 damage, and now that they are stuck with the you know, the mana here, I think anything they can play will be able to... I'm gonna be able to kill them with Rapid Bite. I might even end of turn return a Forest to my hand, and I will actually. But yeah, I was saying this is a pretty boring draft because the match 1 was at least interesting. Okay, that's just not a very good card. Match 1 was interesting, but match 2 was complete non-match because opponent simply timed out. And this is they are stuck at mana here, and game 1 wasn't that exciting either, so maybe this is not very interesting for viewing purposes. Right, so is it gonna be a time to kill the sampler? It's gonna generate a 2/2 to them, but if I don't kill it, they can double block my guys. So yeah. They can still double block the Brute or the Root Grazer, but at least they will lose both of their things here, so they're gonna take 9 damage otherwise, so they have to decide something here. They're taking 9 damage, okay. Guess I can play 1 land. I mean, I have the option to return it if they, for example, kill the Root Grazer now. I do have landfallers, but I do have also lands in my hand, so maybe not that relevant. So the Gnarled Colony tramples, and they need 4 toughness to block it. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, they just want to show off. They had all these, but they don't have to kill here, so... Well, let's see. I guess they are showing that if I didn't have a Vigilance guy, they had to win there. But now they're gonna deal 13 with these guys, so whatever. This is not a warrior. If it was a warrior, then of course it would have had double strike thanks to the Blade Master. Okay, so 2 very uninteresting matches at the end of the event, but that happened, and I'll claim the prize here, and yeah, there's the playlist for all my Zendikar drafts, and of course my channel has playlist for other drafts too, mostly Kaladesh Remastered. No, not Kaladesh. Yes, exactly, Kaladesh Remastered, and then, well, you can subscribe up there if you haven't done that yet and you want to follow my content. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found the video interesting, and I will see you in the next draft. Bye bye.